Hey friends, and welcome back to another episode of Smoltzy and Friends. This morning I was driving to an appointment and a thought came to me. It actually came from a conversation I had with a client yesterday. The meeting started as the person was leading opened with a statement that caught my attention. She said, "I just want everyone to know I'm a little uncomfortable this morning because I don't like speaking in front of people. I'm an introvert." Then she started going through the agenda, and I'm sitting there listening. She was articulate, confident, and clear. She was laying out the expectations for the meeting and guiding the entire conversation. After a few minutes, I raised my hand. She paused and said, "Do you have a question?" And I said something that probably surprised her. I said, "I need to pause the meeting for a moment because I can't go any further without saying something. You labeled yourself as an introvert, and that's not what I'm seeing. You've been leading this meeting beautifully. You're articulate, clear, confident, and guiding the conversation. So whoever labeled you that way, or if you labeled yourself that way, I just want you to know that's not who you are." Then I said, "I'm sorry for the interruption. Please continue." She continued the meeting, but then something changed. Before that moment, she was doing well. But after that moment, her posture changed. Her confidence grew even stronger. And then she had the biggest smile. It felt like maybe she had been waiting for someone to say those words for a long time. And there was no way I was going to let her continue the meeting much further without saying something. Which brings me to a question for you. Have you ever been labeled? Or maybe the harder question, have you ever labeled someone else? Because the labels can stick with people for a lifetime. Sometimes people spend years trying to climb out of a label they never asked for, trying to change the perception of others because someone decided to define them with one word. And here's the truth. You and I were wonderfully and beautifully made by our Creator. Our Creator did not label you and I. People do that. Sometimes people label others because it makes them feel powerful. And the person being labeled ends up feeling small. And honestly, I don't even like positive labels because no one has the authority to define who someone else is. So here's something I want you to think about. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this, maybe it's time for a reset. Maybe you need to call someone. Maybe you need to apologize for labeling them. Or maybe someone labeled you and it's time to release that. And if this conversation is hitting home for you, consider sending this episode to someone. Maybe today is their reset button too. Again, this was not a planned episode. It was simply something that was placed on my heart this Wednesday morning while driving to an appointment. And I felt it needed to be shared. I want to thank you for listening. And if you haven't already, hit that follow button on your favorite platform or wherever you listen. Until next time, remember this. You were uniquely and wonderfully made. You were never created to live inside a label. And whatever you do, don't place a label on someone else either.